Do you dream of touring the world, visiting Hong Kong Disneyland and the new Shanghai Disney Park? I know it's on our bucket list. Until the dreams come true, let's go over there now with our good super geekin' friend, Lewis Sutton, Geekin on Walt Disney on the other side of the world.
Are you ready for a fun-filled hour of food favorites, resort hopping, and hanging out with Disney World geeks? It's now time to go geekin' on Walt Disney World. Here's our dad and co-host. Hollywood was impressed with his performance in crowd scenes at the Indiana Jones stunt show. He never misses an 11 a.m. margarita at the Mexican Pavilion. And Mike Wazowski is still raving about his performance as that guy over at Monsters, Inc. Laugh Floor. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Curtis Stone.
Welcome home, Disney World geeks. It's time for episode 165 of the Geekin' on Walt Disney World podcast. I am your co-host, Curtis Stone, and we are the family-friendly father-daughter podcast that will feed your passion for Walt Disney World by sharing our experiences and opinions as well as others from our community of passionate Walt Disney World geeks. And today's episode is sponsored by our good friends with Fairy Tale Concierge Travel Agency. Fairy Tale Concierge is an authorized Disney vacation planner agency. You know them as part of our Geekin' family. It's Susan Jones, Jennifer Galambos, and EJ Cruz. When you book your Disney World vacation with them, you're going to get a professional travel agent. They're really passionate about Disney World. Hey, do you dream and plan your next Disney trip all year long? Well, they'll talk and eat and drink Disney World all day long with you. When you work with them, they'll talk with you whenever you want from the very beginning, during your trip, and who knows, you might even end up doing a trip report with us. So contact them now for a free, no obligation quote, and best of all, their services are free to you. Let's keep our trip bookings in the family and get all the details on our website, geekinonwdw.com, where you can get their contact information. Hey, this week, Holly Burcase co-hosts with me as we bring on our super geek friend, Lewis Sutton, to take us along on his recent trip to Shanghai and Hong Kong Disneyland. Now, my original plan was to have Lewis and Tony Tovar, who lives in Shanghai, on together to do their trip reports, but logistically, it just wasn't working out. They're like 13 hours ahead of us, so we recorded with Lewis on a Friday evening, and then on Saturday morning for Tony. They both had no problem giving us two awesome trip reports. Now, Tony will be on with us next show, next week, all about Shanghai. And for this week, let's enjoy Shanghai and Hong Kong Disneyland with Lewis Sutton from his home in Australia. All right. You know, I don't like to co-host by myself on this show. We love having our daughter Lindsay here, but she is working in Disney World. And I thought I'd bring on a new co-host and bring her on because she's such a great Geekin' family member. Let's bring her on now. She deeply misses seeing the Dreamfinder character walking around Epcot. She's proud to say that she's rope dropped the Great Movie Ride on more than one occasion, and she was lucky enough to be in the first group of guests to soar in the new Concourse C Soarin' Theater. She's one of our sweetest, cutest, smartest, and geekiest members of our Geekin' family. Please give a warm Geekin' welcome to Super Geeker Holly Burcase.
Hi, everybody, and thank you, Kurt, for inviting me on. I know Lindsay's down there living the full-time Disney lifestyle right now, so
yes,
I appreciate you letting me come in, and this is something I'm very interested in as well.
I knew you would be.
This topic.
I knew you would be, so I thought you'd be the perfect person to help me out with this, with a good friend of ours and a super geeker in his own right who's been on the show before, and I'm so glad he promised he would do this with us, although he did go and do a couple of UK podcasts with our good friends over there, but we're glad to bring him to America. Let's bring him on, Holly, shall we?
Absolutely.
He spent New Year's Eve 2015 at Disneyland Paris, where the temperature dropped below 0 Celsius. That's a real frozen start for 2015. He tricked his wife to go on Space Mountain at Disneyland Paris by telling her it was a kiddie ride. She cursed him through every drop and turn all the way down, but when they reached the bottom, she begged him to do it again. Just like Peter Pan, he lives his life by the mantra, growing old is mandatory, but growing up is optional. And he's been to Disneyland Paris twice, Disneyland California once, Walt Disney World once, and now he's fresh back from both Shanghai and Hong Kong Disneyland. Please welcome to the Geekin family, our super geeker and world traveler, Lewis Sutton. Hey, Lewis.
Hey, Kurt. Hey, Holly. How's it going?
We're so glad to have you on the show, Lewis. How you doing?
Very good. Actually, I should say g'day. How's it going? Because I am Australian and I've got to stick to stereotypes. So it's a bonza day and I'm having a great time. So yeah,
I love that.
It's morning where you're at as well, right?
It is 7:11 a.m. And it is a glorious day here in Perth, Western Australia. And we, as I mentioned to you guys off air before, last couple of days we've had 40-degree days, which is 108 degrees Fahrenheit, and it looks like we're going to be hitting 108 degrees Fahrenheit today as well. So really nice day to stay inside drinking beer, I think.
All right. And yeah, it's all opposites. You're on the other side of the world. It's the next day in the morning. We're at night, and you're summer and we're winter.
Yes, it is. It's very much opposite land, and usually you and I are just 12 hours apart. But I think because you've got daylight savings at the moment or something like that, there's or you don't have daylight savings, one way or the other. But we're not quite there.
Awesome, love having you back on the show, and you're such a world traveler, Lewis. And you are back fresh from where that we want to talk about tonight?
Well, my wife and I, as we do, we like to get away at Christmas time because I work in the construction kind of industry and I get forced leave around that time.
Yeah, right.
So it makes sense for us to hit the road and make use of that time off. And so in the past, as you mentioned, we went to Disneyland Paris and Paris and London and did that sort of thing. And this year we decided that we would definitely make our way to some of the Asian parks for Disneyland, because one of the really strong reasons was because Shanghai Disneyland opened last year. And I said to Kat, look, we've got to go there in its first year of operation, but I want to leave it for about 6 months, let them, iron out the wrinkles and, get an idea of what they're doing. And then we'll go there and experience it in their first year. Because, how often do you get to go and experience a Disneyland park in its first year?
Right.
It doesn't happen that often.
No, absolutely not. So, and hey, thank you for the little care package you sent me from a little sample from both parks. And I've been eating the candies. Those were really good. Kind of like a jelly kind of candy is the best way I can explain it. And a little magnet and the guide maps. Oh, and the Tic Tacs that are so small. I think there's 10 of them in there? Where were those?
Might even be less. Might be like 6.
Well, and one of them was orange. I ate them already. So do
you guys have orange Tic Tacs in America?
I think so. We do, right, Holly?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah. Where did you get?
I became obsessed with Tic Tacs last year. So, it's one of those things.
And where did you get those?
A friend actually gave me a box at Christmas where there was 64 of those little packs in it.
Okay.
And they were different kind of flavors. And here in Perth, we've got a cherry cola Tic Tacs. We've got peach lemonade, and then we've got a few other flavors. So I always loved Tic Tacs. I always thought, it's a shame they don't do more flavors, and now they do. So I'm just completely obsessed by them.
That's awesome. And I love the magnet that's on my fridge now. That one's from Shanghai, if I remember right. I'm looking at the picture here. And then you gave me a door, kind of the hotel sign, please don't disturb kind of sign with dopies on there, at least the picture I'm looking at. So thanks so much for thinking about me. I love getting this stuff in the mail. So if you want to get on the show and do a trip report, I'll tell you, sending a package to me certainly bumps you up the list.
It's the best bribe ever. I mean, gift, not a bribe, it's a gift.
I appreciate it. Holly's done that for me also. And all right, let me see. Let me get back to my notes here, Louis. And I just want to kind of go through, the regular questions we usually do on our trip reports. Then I want to hit the highlights from both of these parks for you. So when did you go?
Okay, so we did the whole Christmas thing because I love Christmas. Like you might have seen on my Facebook page, like I regularly put up a Days to Christmas countdown.
Yeah.
As well as a Days to Disney countdown. So I'm a massive fan of Christmas. I think it's the best time of the year. And so we had Christmas with our friends. We always do our friends thing on Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Day, we did the family stuff. So I hung out with my family and my wife Kat's family. And then at 8 o'clock at night, we got a London cab because for some reason we have London cabs here in Perth. And we took it to the airport and got on a plane at about 10 o'clock. And then it was only a short plane trip to Hong Kong. I think it was about 8 hours.
Okay.
And then we got off the plane at Hong Kong, and then we had another 3-hour trip to Shanghai. Now, we went to Shanghai then, and we spent about 2 days in Shanghai, and then we went to Shanghai Disneyland, and we were at Shanghai Disneyland for 4 days, and it was fantastic. Kat and I had never really been to Asia before. Like in the 90s, I'd been to Bali a few times, but Bali is pretty much Asia light. It's very much a place that most Australians go during their lifetime because it's very close and very cheap. But it's not. It's very westernized because of it being a holiday destination.
Yeah.
So Shanghai was like, we're going to throw ourselves in the deep end. We're going to go to Shanghai. It's going to be awesome. The thing I like actually about being a Disney fan is you've got the ability to travel the world now and go to places where there may be cultural differences, and you might find it difficult to you might have language barriers and things like that. But Disney is a equalizing factor. You go to a place, and if there's a Disney park there, then there's that comfort of the known. So when we got to Shanghai, we were like thinking, oh, maybe this is going to be a bit different. We're going to have trouble communicating with people. But in the actual city itself, a lot of people actually spoke English, so we didn't have any issues with that. And there were a lot of westernized parts of the country. I think even though they are a communist country, they seem to be embracing a lot of things in the West, and a lot more like American movies and stuff like that are going into the country. Yeah. So to the point that a Disney store in Shanghai itself. So it was quite interesting.
And Louis, so I'm not a world traveler. Any difficulties traveling country to country? And like you said, it is, a different culture, different country, kind of communist, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. No, it was like a difference between traveling to China instead of like America or Europe. If Kat and I are going to Europe or to the UK, we don't need to get visas or anything like that. It's just kind of like buy your ticket, rock up, and all sweet. If we go to America, there's the visa waiver program. So it's an online thing where you just go on there, fill out your details, and then as long as everything's sweet, you get the approval and you can go into America.
Yep.
With China, you need to get a visa. And so in Australia, that means that you've got to go to an office in the city, and you've got to take your passport in there, you've got to fill in forms, you've got to leave your passport with them, and if they approve your visa, they actually put the visa into your passport.
Yep.
So you need that to get into China, because if you rock up there without a visa, you're not getting in.
Right. And what's the timeline you got to plan for that process?
I planned about 6 weeks to 2 months.
That's kind of short. I thought it'd be much longer. Okay.
Yeah, because they give you a period of time where the visa's active, and I think it's like a 3-month period. So you don't want to be planning it 6 months out.
Okay.
You want to plan it a bit closer to when you're actually going away.
Excellent.
In your going there, is there anything you maybe unintentionally did that was a cultural faux pas? 'Cause that's one of my concerns is when I do eventually travel to the various parks and countries, that there might be something that I'm used to that I don't, necessarily mean to do that might come off as rude. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that's understandable. Not really, as far as I could tell. In China, it was pretty much just the normal kind of thing. You may find people might come off as a bit rude, but they're not being rude. They're just very straight to the point. So there's no airs and graces. I mean, in Western culture, particularly European and Australian culture, we say please and thank you a lot. And I'm not sure in America. I noticed that people didn't necessarily say please and thank you all the time.
I was going to say it sounds more like us. At least us in the Northeast, and you were in New York, so.
That was something I had to get used to in America was that we always say please and thank you here in Australia, but in America it's not so much the case. But it's not people being rude. It's just that you just haven't been raised doing that. So maybe you guys would get along. Not quite odd in Shanghai where people don't do that because it's part of your culture as well. So no, it's really not that different to what you'd be used to. But the one thing though is in China with the taxis, that's one place where you've got to be very aware because you will get ripped off. And we got ripped off in the taxis, but the thing is that the ripped off that we got over there was just what we would have paid for a taxi over here, so we didn't feel too bad about it. Yeah. But if you're aware of it, you can actually avoid it because I'll explain the two situations. So when we arrived in Shanghai, we took the maglev into what we thought was a city, but it didn't go all the way to where we wanted to go. So we had to take a taxi from where we ended up to the city itself. So we went to a taxi rank, assuming that if it was a taxi rank, it would be an official taxi. And it looked like an official taxi. And we got in there, but I noticed the guy didn't turn the meter on. Uh-huh. And so we got to where the hotel was, but the guy didn't pull into the hotel. He said, if you go around the corner there, that's where the hotel is. And I was like, well, why aren't you're pulling in? And he said, he told us what the price was, and it ended up being about 40 Australian dollars. And I was like, oh, fair enough, whatever. And I gave him the money, and then we got out. And then we realised that even though it was an official taxi, he didn't turn the meter on. So he just made up what the price was. It should have been half of what we paid. But I wasn't too concerned because it was only like $40. So that was one way that you can get ripped off by them. And I think the important thing is if you do go there, get a taxi from the airport and ask them to write down what the fare is so that you know what you're going to be paying before you get into the taxi. Yeah. The other way was more frustrating because when we took a taxi from the hotel we were at in the city to Shanghai Disneyland, we didn't ask them what the fare was going to be or how long it would take. We knew it should have been about 30 minutes away from where we were. And so we got into the taxi and then we started to drive off. And then Kat was like going, this seems weird. I think we're going in the wrong direction. And looked at her map. And we were supposed to be traveling one way and we were traveling in the completely opposite direction. And Kat was like, the taxi driver said he didn't speak English. And Kat was like, excuse me, where are you taking us? We're going to Disneyland. And he was like, sorry, don't speak English. And we were like, eventually she called up the hotel and spoke really loudly to make it clear what she was doing. And then all of a sudden the guy was like, oh, Disneyland, and then changed the direction he was going. So instead of taking us directly there, he took us well out of our way and then took us there. Yeah. And it cost, the cost of it was, not an issue because even so, it still cost $40, but it was wasting our time. Yeah. And that was what was annoying. Our time is more valuable, and the guy wasted our time. Yeah. So if you're going from a hotel, I would recommend getting the concierge to ask the taxi driver how long is it going to take and what is the cost going to be, and get them to write it down.
Oh, good advice.
So there's no arguments at the end of the day.
No Magical Express.
No. Well, the hotel itself, we stayed at the Hyatt, And if you wanted to go there for a day trip, there was actually a bus that the Hyatt put on that goes straight from the Hyatt to Disneyland, and then you can get the bus back at the end of the day. So there are options like that, but quite frankly, I wouldn't. Kat and I have never stayed anywhere other than on property when we were in a Disney park. And with Shanghai, you're not going to do it in a day. You need more time there.
So you stayed at the Hyatt. Do they have Disneyland resorts there?
They do. So we stayed at the Hyatt in the city. So when we were in the city for a couple of nights, we stayed there, and it was amazing. We stayed in an amazing room, had great views of the city. We ate dinner there 2 nights in a row. We had drinks both nights in the bar. Each night with dinner, we had a bottle of wine, and the cost of it was very, very cheap. Like it was. I was blown away by the quality of the food was 5-star kind of quality.
Yep.
And for the 2 nights we ended up paying Australian. It was around about $1,000 for 2 nights accommodation in a 5-star hotel, 2 meals in a 5-star restaurants, bottle of wine each night, and drinks up in the bar.
Wow.
And it was $1,000 Australian, which would I'm just going to put my currency converter thing to find out what that is in US dollars. So if you were to have that experience here in Perth, you would be looking, maybe $2,000 or even more. So it was I was just blown away by how inexpensive it was. So $755 American.
So you didn't stay at a Disneyland resort. You stayed at this Hyatt.
No.
We transferred.
We stayed in the Hyatt the first 2 nights.
Yep.
And then we went to the Disneyland resort after that because we wanted to get a feel for the city as well as going to the Disney park.
Yep.
So we did that, and we just did the bus tour in the city and got an idea of what Shanghai is and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then on the 3rd day, we took the taxi to Disneyland Shanghai and went to the park that day. And it was if the guy took us the right way, it should have only been about 37 minutes from the city. But because of the way it took us, it was over an hour.
Yeah.
And then we went to the Disneyland Hotel, and we stayed at the Disneyland Hotel.
Is it brand new?
It is everything's brand new.
Yeah.
It's all shiny. The ribbon's just been cut.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's you go there and it's like it's always been there. Yeah. Even though it's brand new and it's shiny, it fits the environment and it looks like it's always been there, which all Disney parks, to me, kind of have that feel of a lived-in feel.
Yep.
And this park, even though it's been there for 6 months, has a lived-in feel. And the hotel, the Disneyland Hotel, is stunning.
Yep.
It's just it's brilliant. I'm trying to think. It's kind of the Grand Floridian has that old school kind of feel to it.
Right.
And that's the same kind of feel you get when you walk into the Shanghai Disneyland Hotel.
Is there a style to it then, Lewis?
Yeah,
it's got a style. It's
is it Victorian?
It's kind of a Victorian style. Yeah, that's probably the best way of describing it. You walk in and you've got a big open lobby area. There's a statue in the very middle of it. I'm just trying to make sure I'm thinking. Yes, I'm getting confused between Hong Kong and Shanghai. I'm trying to make sure I get the right hotel in my mind. But yeah, it's great. You've got the statue in the middle of it, and then you've got a large open space. You go off to the side, and there's bars and those kind of things. The lifts. If you go to the lifts and get into the lifts, you've got Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse talking to you as you're going up the lift, and they're either talking in English or in Mandarin, which was kind of cool. And we stayed on the club level when we were at Disneyland Shanghai, because when we stay at Paris or we stay in the American parks, we usually stay at the deluxe resorts. And for the price you would pay at deluxe resorts for a standard room in America, you can get club level in Shanghai.
Nice.
And And when you get club level, obviously you're on a higher floor, which is nice, but you could get rooms that are park facing. Ours unfortunately wasn't park facing, but that didn't matter because the club level lounge was park facing and had the best views of the park. So when you're in the Disneyland hotel, you're facing the park, but between you and the park is a massive lake. So your options for going from the hotel to the park are you can either go via a bus, which I wouldn't recommend. That's boring. You could walk there. It's a 10-minute walk, and it's really nice and lush. Or you could take the ferry, and the ferry again takes about 10 minutes to get across. It's really nice ways of actually getting to the park and to Disneytown. So the lounge is looking across that lake to the castle. So straight ahead you see the castle. To the left is the Tron ride, and the Tron ride building is amazing. It's funny that most parks only have the one kind of weenie, and that's usually like the castle in a Magic Kingdom type park. But here you've got the Tron ride, and at night, during the day it's all blue, but at night they put different colours through it. So absolutely amazing ride, and it gives you a great view from the Kingdom Lounge. So when you do club level, you get breakfast every morning. You can go in there, and they put on a selection of different foods, and there's a gentleman there cooking omelettes or any kind of eggs you want. There's food from different cultures as well, so you can get Western stuff, and you can get Chinese stuff, and so there's stuff there for all kind of tastes. They do an afternoon tea, which we never actually got to, but at night time they call it snacks, but to be fair, it's just like dinner. You don't need to have dinner because you can just go there and fill up on snacks, and they have wine, and they have spirits, and they have everything. So in Shanghai and China, we did notice that alcohol could be a bit expensive. So if you're staying club level, then you can get your drink on at night, and it save yourself a bit of money that way.
So the Shanghai resort area, you said it was like 37 minutes outside of the city. Is it kind of in a rural area, or what's the kind of area around it, Lewis?
Well, it's kind of it's like near an industrial kind of area.
Okay,
but it's still residential. So that's the interesting thing about the park. You see the beautiful castle and and you see Tron and all that sort of stuff. But if you look further in the distance, you see power lines, and then you can see high rises in the background.
Okay.
So it's a great park, and it's really awesome. But it's not like the actual placement of it isn't the most beautiful placement of a park. I mean, you go to Paris, and Paris is stunning. Paris is just the most beautiful park in the world.
Right.
You go to Hong Kong, and where it is in Hong Kong, they've developed an area of land which A, didn't exist before, and B, where it was existing land before they reclaimed part of it for the park, there was lots of lush trees and stuff like that, and they've retained that. So that's like a really lush, jungly kind of park. But Shanghai, if you look beyond the park, it's not the prettiest sight, but the park itself makes up for it.
Is the resort like a hotel kind of, or is it kind of like you mentioned Grand Floridian? You know how Grand Floridian has different buildings and they've got a pool. They got kind of an area to sprawl out. How is this resort kind of laid out?
It's quite similar in that regard, where you do have pools. I think there's an indoor pool and an outdoor pool. Unfortunately, the pool was shut for maintenance while we were there,
Already?
So we didn't get a chance to experience it.
Already?
So as I said, teething problems. And when we were there, I should mention that the weather there was cold. It was their wintertime. So the temperatures during the day were between 2 to 10 degrees Celsius. So that's about 35 degrees Fahrenheit to 50. So around that kind of area. So you have to be rugged up and rugged up to go to the park so you don't freeze. but the pool, maybe the pool was heated, but not heated to the point where you needed to be for an indoor pool to be able to use it. So I think it might have been that was a reason why it wasn't operating, but it's probably something they'll figure out, and next time it should be open.
Sounds like their climate is similar to what I'm used to here in Connecticut.
Yeah, I'd say it's a similar kind of thing. My friend went there in the summertime, and he said they were boiling. So, it's certainly one of those things to be mindful of when going to a park like Shanghai or even Paris.
Do they get snow?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
They didn't when we were there. I don't know if it gets colder from when we were there. So, I can't really say whether they get snow or not.
All right. Holly, you have anything before we start? I want to go around the parts of the park, too.
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures. I recommend people. I mean, Lewis posted a ton of awesome pictures on the Facebook, but look at some of the outside pictures of this hotel. It's gorgeous. I'm like hotel envy right now.
Yeah, Lewis did a great job sharing pictures with us for sure. All right, Lewis, I want to know now. Let's go into the park a little bit, and I love this map you sent me. And it's very typical, actually, the way they lay out the map, like we're used to here at Disney World. And
did you notice something? There's one really different thing about this park compared to all other Disneyland parks.
No, don't stump me, but go ahead.
Okay, when you walk into a Disneyland park and you want to go to Tomorrowland, what way do you turn?
To the right.
Right.
Yes, well, not in Disneyland Shanghai.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yep. So,
as soon as you've gone to park in Disneyland Shanghai, if you want to go to Tomorrowland, you're turning left.
That's confusing.
So, I love it. I think, see, the thing for me, and people say, why do you go to all these other Disneyland parks? It's like, surely they're all the same. But they're not. They have similar rides, but every park is distinct and unique to itself. And even small things like having Tomorrowland to the left rather than the right, it'll confuse you. And so when you first go in there and you're a Disney fan, you've been to all the other parks, if you instinctively go to the right to go to Tomorrowland, you'll be confused, which is awesome. I love it. I think it's great.
I'm wondering, yes, if I went there, I mean, I'm going to have this attitude like, hey, I've been to lots of Disney World parks, the 4 in Florida, and I should have some familiarity, but I might not. I mean, they got the hub and spoke kind of thing, and they have lands, but they're all different, right?
Exactly. I mean, with Shanghai Disneyland, you've got, so if you walk into a normal Disney park, the first thing you'll be confronted with is Main Street USA. And you'll walk up Main Street and you'll see all the shops and that sort of thing. But here you don't have Main Street USA. You've got Mickey Avenue.
Yeah.
And it's a lot wider, and you still got shops and those sort of things. But yeah, just a different kind of experience of what you'd be used to in the other parks. I think it's it was acquired because of the amount of people that were going to come to this park. You just need to have wider spaces for them. So it's a lot easier to get around this park because of wide walkways and things like that. It's been laid out very, very well. In regards to the lands, you've got in Shanghai Disneyland Adventure Isle. Then you've got Fantasyland, which is one we've clearly got in all the other parks. You got the Gardens of Imagination. You got, as I mentioned, Mickey Avenue. You got Tomorrowland. Got Treasure Cove, and so you got a few different areas to what you would experience in your normal Magic Kingdom type of park.
What's Disney Town?
Disney Town is actually the Disney Springs downtown Disney area.
Oh, okay.
And so Disney Town is right outside the park, like literally right outside the park, to the point where there's the main entrance, and then off to the left near Tomorrowland, there's an re-enter straight into Disney Town.
Yeah.
Because the thing with Shanghai Disneyland, like most other Disneylands, with the exception of Paris, it's completely dry. So there's no alcohol served within the park, unless you go to Club 33, and that's out of reach for most of us. But what they've done is they've had this exit, re-enter point into Disney Town. So if you wanted to and go, okay, we're having an awesome time here in the park, this is great, I feel like going and having a lunch and pairing it with a wine or beer. Then you can just exit through that gate. You can go to one of the many different eating establishments there, which cater for Western taste and Chinese taste and Japanese taste, and basically anything you want to eat, you can find it there. You can go there, you can have your food, you can pair it with a nice beer or wine, and then once you're finished, you just re-enter through that gate, and then you're back in the park. You're just minutes away from getting on the Tron ride. So it's a great thing to do, I think. It's one way of keeping the park dry, but then allowing people to have a drink if they want as well without too much inconvenience.
Right. We're going to talk food. Don't worry. But Holly, you wanted to ask some questions about the park?
Well, I was going to say first, actually, Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World is no longer dry.
Yeah.
You can get beer and wine in most of the sit-down restaurants. So
yeah,
it doesn't bother me, but that's me.
I'm just happy about it because the quality of the food in a lot of those sit-down restaurants is really high quality. And when I'm having it, I want to pair it with a nice craft beer or with a really good wine. And it's weird when you sit down and you've got an awesome steak in front of you and you're pairing it with a Coke.
I agree there. It's and that's the thing is my argument with them bringing wine and beer into the Magic Kingdom. I was like, well, I can assure you that if the people that are drinking the wine and beer with their meals are not drinking it to excess. They're drinking it because they want to enjoy those flavors. That's what I think personally. I know some people disagree with that, but I look forward to going to the Jungle Cruise restaurant again and being able to pair it with a wine or a beer.
I don't think people are going to go to a dinner place and slam beers. I think they're going to go to a bar and do that, which you have at Epcot.
Yeah,
I don't think people aren't going to go. As I said, people aren't going to go there and drink to excess. But I think people who don't drink think the only reason people drink is to get drunk,
to excess,
and
yeah.
It's just not the case.
Yeah.
All right, hey Lewis, tell me a little bit about this park. What's kind of your favorite attractions as you look through this map? I think I know in Tomorrowland. You're a big Tron guy, right?
Oh yeah.
What is that?
I'll run you through the actual the different areas. Starting with the Tomorrowland, because it is a different Tomorrowland to what you've experienced previously. So the centerpiece of Tronland of Tomorrowland is the Tron ride. Now Tron is kind of replacing Space Mountain. So there's no Space Mountain at Shanghai. Instead, what you got is the Tron ride, which is based on the Tron movie, and it's the light cycle ride. So you're going inside a computer and you're racing against other people on these light cycles. So it's a roller coaster. It's predominantly a dark ride with an element of outside. So when the ride launches, you go outside for a little bit, and then you go inside, and it's all a dark ride with some screen-based stuff. The actual ride itself is a motorcycle. So instead of sitting up in the ride with like the thing that goes over your shoulders to hold you in place, you actually sitting in a motorcycle position, and you pull the handlebars back, and a backrest comes and locks you into place onto the motorbike. So you're in that forward-facing seated position, and the ride it takes off, and I think it hits speeds of up to 60 miles an hour.
Wow!
So it's a fairly fast roller coaster. And it's amazing. We went on it, I think about 5 or 6 times, and the first few times we went on it, we sat at wherever we all sat, and it usually end up being middle to back, and it was great. The ride was fantastic. And then I said to Kat, look, there's a line there for being at the front, and you can request to be at the front, and there's a separate line, so they won't put you at the front unless you ask to be put at the front. And so we said, let's go to the front. And Kat was like, oh, no, let's ride one more time, and then we'll go to the front. And then she was like, no, let's ride the front. We'll just do it. We're going to do it. And so she went, okay, we went to the front, and we got on the front there. And as soon as you go on the front, different ride. It is just, it's turned up to 11, and it is just amazing.
Wow.
It's because you're right at the front of a roller coaster. You're facing forward. There's just nothing else in front of you. It's
in your face.
Amazing.
It's in your face.
It's in your face.
Right.
And you take off to the ride, and it's like Space Mountain, but it's just so much faster. There's actually a hidden Mickey in there as well, so you've got to keep an eye out for that. But just a thrilling ride that doesn't lose its excitement with every successive ride of it. So,
well, Lewis, when I'm screaming and closing my eyes, I don't see many hidden Mickeys, I want to tell you.
You just got to tough up.
Maybe after the third or fourth time.
Now, my question about this, because I'm not the biggest thrill ride person. I like to do it because my husband Peter likes to do it. When he saw the Tron coaster, I think he wept with excitement because Tron is one of his favorite movies. But my question is about it, because it is a unique ride system and sitting system, how fluffy friendly is it? Because we're not tiny people. So, and I know our Walt Disney World tends to be a bit fluffy friendly, but I was wondering how that is out in Shanghai and specifically with the Tron ride.
I'm not. Outside the ride, there is a tester bike, so you can test to make sure that you're going to be suitable for the ride. I've got a friend who is a bit fluffy who went there earlier in the year, and he rode the Tron ride. But yeah, I'm not sure like how big people can be before they can't ride it, because unfortunately in Shanghai, like I'm a short person. I'm about 169 centimeters tall, so I'm not the tallest person in the world. But when I was in Shanghai, I felt like a giant because the people in China are shorter than me, which is nice to be able to feel tall for a little bit. And the parks have been designed for Chinese people in mind, because I think the Asian parks, with the exception of Hong Kong, that's predominantly, Tokyo is predominantly a Japanese market, and Shanghai is predominantly a Chinese market. So yeah, I don't really know. I haven't heard any people say they can't fit on it. I only saw one guy in Hong Kong do a tester on a ride and couldn't fit on it. This guy was huge. Like, he was really, really, really tall and also quite wide as well. So I felt bad for him because I just couldn't imagine any ride he could go on. But yeah, it wasn't one of those things which we saw much of in Shanghai. Yeah, I'm not sure we find out more information on that, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, I imagine Universal, it's probably fairly similar to Universal, because I know down here, the Universal here has quite a few rides that are, like, if you're over 6'5", you cannot ride it. And obviously if you have a certain body type, you can't ride it. So that might be kind of a good gauge, maybe. Like, I don't know. I was just curious. I figured that they tailored the rides a little bit more towards the people that are going to be there, the people that are going to be their consistent guests. So, well,
we're going to talk to one other person too, so he might know too, Holly.
I mean, it's motivation to lose weight, of course, but yeah.
All right.
Another place you could ask as well. There's a podcast called TDR Now, and they've got a website called TDR Explorer, which is a Tokyo Disney website, but they also talk about Shanghai and Hong Kong as well. So maybe if you touch base with them and ask the question, they may be able to provide some more information.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's look. I want to get in this other park you went to too. So I want to. Let's hit. Give me a cut. Yeah, why don't you give me like your top 2 or 3 attractions here, Lewis?
Okay. So the Tron Light Cycle, definitely up the top there. The Buzz Lightyear is the best Buzz Lightyear we've ever been on. It's absolutely fantastic. It's like the conventional Buzz Lightyear plus stuff and awesome. So definitely go and check that out. Pirates of the Caribbean is just everyone has got to experience this ride. The Pirates of the Caribbean at Shanghai Disneyland is just, it's something else. You just get onto this ride, if you haven't read anything about it, you're just expecting the normal Pirates of the Caribbean experience. But this is Pirates of the Caribbean Battle for the Sunken Treasure. So when you get onto this ride, you're in your boat and you're going forward, and you think, Pirates of the Caribbean, that's what you do. You just go through, you look at things, you experience a ride. But you reach a point in this ride after going through a few traditional scenes which are turned on their head, and then all of a sudden you see the best transition of a skeleton into Jack Sparrow you've ever seen. And then your ride vehicle starts turning around, and you're going, how is this possible? I'm in a boat. And the boat will turn to the left, it'll turn to the right, you'll go backwards, you'll go forwards.
Cool.
At one point, you go under the ocean. This ride is something that everyone has got to do and experience.
Nice.
There's no 3D glasses or anything like that, but you've got full immersion.
Yeah.
This is a full immersion ride, and this is brilliant. Like before this, I was thinking Forbidden Journey, the Harry Potter ride, was the best ride I've ever been on. Not anymore. It's Pirates of the Caribbean Battle for the Sunken Treasure.
Wow. Nice.
It's great. It is really, really awesome. So definitely if you go to Shanghai, do that ride. It is just absolutely amazing. But there's just so much stuff to do. Like this park, as I said, has only been open 6 months, but it is completely fully formed. There is enough there to keep you busy for 3-4 days if you're a Disney fanatic. Even though we were there for 4 days and we spent 3 full days in the park, we still didn't do everything.
Wow.
So, and they're adding another land at the moment. I believe it's a Toy Story land.
Yeah.
But before we leave Shanghai, one of the things I wanted to mention as well is the weird thing about Shanghai is that the most popular ride there is Soarin' Over the Horizon.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about this because I see you didn't care for it, so I'm kind of curious to see why.
All right, so the Soarin' Over the Horizon, I'll give you the rundown on the obsession with it in Shanghai. When the parks open, they do that thing where you get in through the gates, then you go up to the hub, and everyone's there and they've got it all roped off. Then you have the welcome show, which isn't anything special. And then people run to their first ride. Like, how they have that announcement like, welcome to Disneyland, please walk to your first attraction.
Yeah.
It's like, I swear that when the guy's doing it, he says that once, and then people are just bolting. And then he says it again, and no one's listening. They're just running straight to the Fast Pass line, or they're running to the ride itself to start lining up. So the first day we were there, all the Fast Passes were gone. And I asked the guy, what the park opened at 9. I said, when did the Fast Passes run out? He said 9:30.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay.
Wow.
And so we didn't do it that day because we were not going to line up 2 or 3 hours for a ride when there were other rides we could walk onto. So we did that first day, we just did all the rides with short wait times. And then when the fireworks were on, we decided not to do the fireworks the first night. When the fireworks were on, we went and walked onto rides like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which had short lines, and it was awesome. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, while the fireworks are going on, and your ride climaxes at the same time the fireworks do, perfection.
Nice.
It's brilliant. So anyway, back to Soarin' Over the Horizon. As soon as the park opens, people, the running ball sounds, people break left. So the second day we went, okay, we'll go and we'll line up and get a Fast Pass. So we went there, we lined up. We waited about half an hour in the line to get a Fast Pass, and we got our Fast Pass return, and it would have been about, I think it was like 2 or 3 o'clock. We had to go back. So we went and did everything else during the day. We went and had some lunch in Disneytown, and then we came back and we did Soarin'. And we walked straight in the Fast Pass line. We went and we were on the ride within, say, 15 minutes. And we weren't, I don't think we got the best seat. We were in the centre, but we were at the bottom of the centre. And so you could see the people's feet dangling in front of us. And then the ride starts, and the actual footage, you're thinking, okay, this is all new footage. This is a high-def screen. This should look awesome. And it just didn't. It was, just like, okay, I see where you're going for here. This is cool. And then I started seeing all the CGI stuff in it. And I was like, what the hell? And then I saw the Taj Mahal. And I was like, Who did you get interns to do this? Is that what the story is here? Everything looked fake to me. And the thing is, like, I don't mind if you're on Pirates of the Caribbean, then fake is fine because you're in a fantasy world and everything can be a bit weird and different. If you're on a ride called Soarin' Over the Horizon, showing you parts of the world and it's fake, it's just like, what's the point of this? And also, I don't think I smelt anything. I don't think I've not got the best nose as it is, but I would have thought I would have been able to smell some of the smells, but there were no smells there. So I don't know if it was broken or they just don't have it there. So it was
Lewis, I'm laughing because I heard someone else giving the same description of a similar ride in Florida.
Because we've never flown Soarin' in California or in Florida, and because always when we were in California, it was down for refurbishment. When we were in Orlando last year, they were adding the new theater, so we've never ridden it. This was our first time riding it. It was really, really disappointing. And I was thinking, we only waited 15 minutes for it. Imagine waiting 3 hours, and then that's your experience. Well, that could ruin your day.
I'll give you a warning. They did the same thing in Florida.
Yeah, if you some mild spoilers, obviously, but yeah, I had the same issues because I very much enjoyed the original, and then I rode the new one, and again, if you don't want to listen to this, close your ears. But the elephants and the polar bears, I was like, okay, I get it. You can't train a wild polar bear to, jump into the water. But then when I got to the Taj Mahal, I was like, are you kidding?
No. That was Lindsay's experience. Exactly.
Yeah,
the original Soarin', it was all film, wasn't it? There was the only CGI thing I think might have been a golf ball, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
That somebody told me. So that's the thing. It should be just a film of stuff. It shouldn't be any fake stuff in there, really.
Yeah. The Lindsay was really disappointed with the score also, in that they just kept repeating it over and over again. It didn't have the complexity of the original score.
Yeah,
so
and the transitions as well from one scene to the next.
They're a little jarring sometimes.
Yeah.
My mom was next to me, and every time it happened, she'd be like, "Oh gosh," and I was like, "It's okay."
All right, Lewis. I guess I'll ask two more questions for Shanghai before we go to Hong Kong, and one is the castle here. Is it a big castle, small? How is it compared to the one in Florida?
It's the biggest castle in the world.
Is it really?
It's huge.
Ah.
It is just, and I was saying to Kat last night.
Majestic?
It's the best castle in the world.
Oh, wow.
And the prettiest castle in the world is Disneyland Paris. There is no question that Disneyland Paris is the best castle in the world. One of the major reasons why it's the best castle in the world is because it's got a dragon underneath it.
Yes, I've heard.
It's a beautiful, beautiful castle. The Paris is a beautiful part. Enchanted Storybook Castle is the biggest of the Disneyland castles in the world. It's got the Royal Banquet Hall inside the building, and so you can go inside the Royal Banquet Hall and you will have dinner in a kind of medieval setting. And while you're having dinner, you'll be interacting with Mickey, Minnie, Daisy, and Donald, all dressed up in kind of that royal, princey kind of regalia. So it's a really nice experience. The food was okay. It wasn't as great as I was hoping for. And again, you can't have any alcohol with the meal. So unfortunately, it was one of those cases where it would have been nice to have paired up the meal with a wine, but you can't have everything. Yeah, it's a great castle, but all we saw was a Royal Banquet Hall, so I'm not sure if there's anything else actually inside there to check out.
Then the next question is, what's your favorite meal that you possibly had, or a couple while you were here at Shanghai?
Well, to be honest, the snacks up in the club lounge was probably the best food, because there was such a variety of food there, and it changed each night. So when you go back there, you could just snack on heaps of different kind of food. When we were in the parks, we generally eat lunch somewhere, and we ate at there was a restaurant just in Disneytown that was like a American chain restaurant. One of your celebrity chefs,
Emerald?
I remember.
Emerald?
No, it was. I can't remember the name of the blinking place. It was a chain place, but it was a nice place to go and eat at.
We do have Curtis Stone here actually as a chef.
Curtis Stone.
Yeah, we do have one. His name is Curtis Stone.
Oh, have you eaten there?
No, I don't know if he has. I just know because, we share the same name.
Yeah. You have to go and see if he's got decent food.
I don't know. I'm still mad at him for stealing my name.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to find out what the name of that restaurant was because it's annoying me now. Wolfgang Puck, that was what it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just like in Disney Springs.
Yeah, so we went there at Wolfgang Puck, and that was quite nice. And as I said, you can go there and have a beer and that sort of thing with your dinner. And then, or with your lunch. And there was another one we went to as well, which was called Blue Frog Bar and Grill. And that was okay, but it was just okay. It wasn't anything to write home about. But there's heaps of other restaurants there that you can choose from. There's one called the Boathouse. There's a Cheesecake Factory.
Well, sounds familiar.
Coconut Paradise, Crystal Jade. There's Doc Deli and Bar, Don Donya, which looks Japanese. I know is Asian. Element Fresh, Food Republic, the Urban Harvest, Hatsune, Ipudo, Kokio. There's Starbucks. So if you want stuff that's homey. So there's so much variety to eat. Snacks. When you're there, you'll just be walking, and all of a sudden you'll get hit in the face with a smell that it's just amazing, and it's a smell of caramel popcorn.
Oh, good.
As soon as you smell this stuff, you're just like, box of caramel popcorn, please. It's just awesome. This just rocked my world. I don't think I can survive on normal popcorn anymore.
You've been spoiled.
That was great. Yeah, my wife is a New Zealander, and they've got what they call in New Zealand, we call them Kiwi dogs, but in America, I believe they're called corn dogs.
Yeah.
So they've got corn dogs, but you've got to go to a cart where they've got them and they're making them fresh, and then order one, but they'll put it into a bag, and you've got to get it out of that bag as soon as possible because otherwise it'll get steamed and not be as crisp and crunchy as you want it.
Yeah.
So that's the advice for that one. And they don't have turkey legs, but they do have smoked duck legs.
Wow.
And
Of course.
we didn't get a chance to eat one, and I'm really annoyed because the turkey legs are okay, but they're just too big, and those freaking, I don't know what they are. They've got those bony, strappy type of things in a turkey leg.
Yeah.
What do you do with those? That's ridiculous. A duck leg, you don't have that issue. So, I'm definitely up for the duck leg. I'm going to be trying that next time I'm there.
They don't have those dinosaur duck legs like they do the turkey legs. They're not that big, are they?
No. We thought, because we saw them initially, we thought they were turkey legs, but man, they've got small turkeys here.
Yeah.
And then we realised they were duck legs.
All right.
Big duck legs. So
they're big for duck, right?
Exactly.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad we did Shanghai. Lewis, you mind going some more and do Hong Kong?
Yeah, let's do Hong Kong.
Yeah. Let's go. Would you say it was like a 2-hour flight over there?
So from
3 hours
Shanghai to Hong Kong, it was about 3 hours.
Yeah.
So Kat had booked in, I think our flights were around about 2 o'clock, I think, around that time. So we didn't get, because the park opens around 9:30, that we didn't have a chance to really go on the park that day. So even though I wanted to just go in and go out again just to say I went into the park 4 days in a row, we decided not to go in at all. So that morning we just went and had Starbucks and then grabbed our bags and headed to the airport.
Yeah.
And got to Hong Kong. And Hong Kong is awesome. The city itself is amazing. It's got great food. The beer and wine's a bit expensive, but the food is quite inexpensive. And it's if you want a city where it's Asian, but it's very, very European at the same time,
Right.
you can't go past Hong Kong, and that's pretty much because Hong Kong was an English city for a very, 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 very long time.
Right.
So in Hong Kong, you got three languages. You got English, Cantonese, and Mandarin are all spoken as official languages. Most signage is in English as well as in Mandarin and Cantonese, so it's very easy to get around. And if you do go there and it's your first time there, I would recommend taking like one of those 24, 48-hour bus tours to orientate yourself to the country or to the city.
How long has that park been? Hey, Lewis, how long has that park been there, the Hong Kong one?
10 years, 11 years now. Yeah.
That was relatively young. But yeah.
It is. It's relatively young. And but I recommend explore Hong Kong first. And also there's another theme park there, which is called Ocean Park. And I'd recommend going there. The rides are there's some thrill rides there, like some big roller coasters set on the side of a mountain. But I think the real draw for me there was the fact you could go and you could see pandas, and you could go and eat this restaurant called Tuxedos, which has penguins swimming around while you're eating your dinner.
Penguins are cute.
Really,
yeah, they're wicked cute.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome. And they're just there watching you while you eat. It's really interesting. So, yeah, I definitely recommend at least going and spending a day at Ocean Park and checking that out. That park has been there since 1977.
Yeah.
So, and it's just been one of these places that's evolved over time. The rides are, your typical amusement park fare, but if you like thrill rides, it had this roller coaster called the Hair Raiser, which is set on the side of a mountain, has many, many loop-the-loops, and because you're already elevated high, and then you've got a high roller coaster with lots of drops, it just adds to the experience. So if you're a thrill fan and you're going to Hong Kong, I recommend a day at Ocean Park as well as going to Disney. But,
all right. But we're here for Disney, right?
we are. So I was going to say, for Disney, it's really easy. Like if you're staying in Kowloon, which is one side of the bay, or Hong Kong, which is the other side of the bay, getting to the Disneyland park is easy as they've got a fantastic transportation system. And it's mostly like trains, subways, that kind of thing. Yeah. And you just go down there and you take a train. I think it's called Sunny Bay is where you get off, and then you just walk across the platform to the Disney platform, and then you just wait there for the Disney train to rock up.
Okay.
And when I say Disney train, I mean Disney train. When the train arrives, its windows are Mickey Mouse ears. Mm-hmm. You get inside the train and you've got Mickey pants holding on to Mickey Mouse ears. That's the handholds so you don't fall over. They've got statues inside the train of Mickey and Minnie and all the other characters. They've got photos of Walt. I just wanted to spend a day or so just walking up and down the train looking at all the statues inside it. But unfortunately, the journey to Disneyland isn't that long, so we got to the Disneyland park, and when you arrive, you can either go directly into the park, or you can go to the two hotels which are there currently, which is the Disneyland Hotel and the Hollywood Hotel. And then there's also a third hotel being built, which has got a kind of explorer theme, so probably like a Jungle Cruise kind of theme to the hotel, which it looks quite interesting, and that's apparently going to open up sometime this year.
Which one did you stay at?
We stayed at the Disneyland Hotel,
yep.
And again, we stayed on club level there as well.
Nice.
One of the things when you stay on the club level, both hotels I didn't mention, when you go to check in downstairs, they immediately escort you up to the 7th floor, and then you check in at the club level. So they run you through like your room and the amenities, and they give you your passes. And I don't know if it was a package or if everyone gets it when they stay at club level, but they gave us some additional fast passes as well. That were just additional paper fast passes that you could use on the rides.
Yeah.
We never used them because it was reasonably quiet there, and so most of the rides were minimal waits, if any.
Yeah, right. Good.
Now, I should mention the temperature in Hong Kong because they're further south. The temperatures there were a lot higher. So it was we were going from Shanghai, which was jackets and thermals, to Hong Kong, which was t-shirt weather.
Yeah.
So, which was a really nice change of environment.
So how did this Disneyland resort compare to the one in Shanghai?
Okay, it's not as big. It's still kind of similar theming. Kind of got that Victorian theming. The rooms, you go up a elevator that's a glass elevator, so you can see outside there was lots of windows. You can see outside to this maze that's outside and that sort of thing. And then you could also see there was a platform that was not the 7th floor. I think it was a couple of floors down. And the platform was there for a band to play. And there'd be different times of day, there'd be a band there playing, different kind of classical music or Disney music and that sort of thing. So when you'd be walking through your room, you'd be hearing music and go, oh, that's really nice. And you'd actually see people playing it, which is even better.
Yeah.
Both hotels had their charms, and both hotels were awesome. So I couldn't pick between the two which one was better.
Well, that description of the band playing reminds me of Grand Floridian too.
Yeah, I think if you go there, you would see a lot of similarities between the Grand Floridian and also these ones. But the Grand Floridian is definitely much a bigger scale than these.
Sure.
They're much smaller, but still very very nice.
And how far
atmosphere.
How far from the park? Can you see the park from your room?
Well, that's the thing. With all the rooms are basically facing the ocean, so you got ocean views from your room.
Wow.
And I don't think you'd be upset by the fact that you can't see the park. But as I mentioned about the lushness of the area, if you look out towards the parks, you generally are just seeing a jungle. You're just seeing trees, and it's beautiful. And in the background of the trees, you're seeing mountains. So you look one side, you're seeing the ocean. You look the other side, you're seeing mountains. You're not going to be complaining about your view.
No. Yeah, right. How far from the park are you, though?
About a 10-minute walk.
Okay.
Now, the thing is with Hong Kong Disneyland is the castle is the smallest castle ever built. I think it's very, very, very similar to the castle at Disneyland in Anaheim, but I think they must have reduced the height of it because it's really tiny.
Yeah, I wonder why. I wonder why they did that.
I'm not sure. I'm sure they had their reasons for it. But the funny thing is now they're actually going to be renovating the castle and adding to the castle. And in the next 3 or 4 years, the castle you're going to see is going to be vastly different. I don't know whether they're doing that so that you can see it from the hotels.
Yeah.
Or if it's just a part of their plan to make it a more attractive park now that Shanghai's there.
Okay.
But yeah, the castle's not that impressive, but the fact that you've got mountains in the background, you don't really need have such an impressive castle there because the actual atmosphere and the landscape you've got is just beautiful in itself. So if you had a too big a castle, I guess it might detract from that a little bit.
Hey, and Lewis, before we get into, I want to hear again about the attractions and the rides, but what about the service that you experience in both these parks that it compare to the service we're used to in Florida?
The service is fantastic. You couldn't. We didn't have any bad service. We didn't have any bad experiences.
Friendly,
very very friendly. As I said, the Chinese and the people from Hong Kong are very to the point. But they're still very, very friendly people, always willing to help wherever they can. Yeah, it was. We didn't have any issues with any cast members.
That's funny. You're making me think of one thing my wife Margita always talks about when we were in Florida. I guess this leads to another question too. You see so many different cultures, but she always comments about the Asian culture. Maybe it's the Japanese. They seem to be extremely polite.
Yeah, we're looking forward to getting to Tokyo in April because we have heard that it's so much different to what we've experienced previously in the politeness and those kind of things.
Yeah.
And also with Asian culture, tipping is not a thing. So It's not like people are being nice to you, expecting you to give them money for being nice to you. They're being nice to you because that's what they do. So it's the service is fantastic, and you're not having to give out extra money because the people are being paid for the job that they do.
Yeah.
Which is really good. And in Japan, I think it's the point if you try to tip somebody, they won't accept it.
Interesting.
The thing I like about when I'm in Disney World, I hear so many language of guests speaking around me. Like I can't even, and it's constant. There's people from just all over the world. I can't even make out some of the languages. And so I'm just curious, is it pretty much, Chinese in these parks or
in Shanghai, it's mainly Chinese. Like you'd see somebody who was, a white person, and you'd be going, "Oh, I wonder where they're from," and try to figure out where they're from. So you did see some people from other Asian countries. We saw some Korean people and some Japanese people there, but predominantly Chinese people are there. It's
so you're really immersed in their culture then.
Oh yeah. It's the way that they were saying, like. It was a Disney park, but it was significantly Chinese, or definitely, I can't remember the actual terminology they used, but yeah, you're in China. You're in a Chinese park. And we were lucky that we were there after Christmas, before New Year's, but they were still starting to roll out some Chinese New Year stuff. So they had these things which were, I think they were the lucky bags or magic bags, but they're kind of like a bag where they have they cost $80, but they've got $160 worth of merchandise inside them,
Wow.
and you don't know what it is, so you're just taking a crack at stuff you're going to want. And so Kat saw one and she goes, "Oh, can I get one? Can I get one?" I went, "Yeah, let's get one." So we got one, and then the cast member said, "Oh, can we open it up now?" We're like, Can we open it up now? I went, "Okay, yeah, fine, we'll open it up." And the cast member was excited about what was inside as we were.
Yeah.
So it really added the experience. So yeah, it's definitely a different culture, but it's a really nice culture, and they're really nice people, and they're just looking to help you have the best time you can while you're in the parks.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Well, let's go to the parks and have some fun. Tell me where do I go for fun in Hong Kong? Disneyland.
Okay, so Hong Kong Disneyland Park, we've got Adventureland, we've got Fantasyland, we have got now. Originally, when the park opened, you had Adventureland, Fantasyland, Tomorrowland. So the park would have been, fairly, obviously you got Main Street USA and that sort of stuff as well. But the park would have been a fairly quick park to go to, because really there's not a whole heap to do in that small amount of land. So after they were open for a few years, they started adding lands to the park. So you've got your original, as I said, Adventureland, and then you got Fantasyland, and you got Tomorrowland, and then they added in Grizzly Gulch. So Grizzly Gulch is your western area of the park.
Oh, okay.
And it's the big attraction there is called the Big Grizzly Mountain Runaway Mine Cars. And the closest ride you'd have to this is kind of like you got Big Thunder Mountain, and then you've got Expedition Everest, and it's kind of like a cross between the two.
So where's my Country Bears play?
There isn't any Country Bears.
What? That's outrageous. That's unacceptable.
There are bears in this ride, but I don't believe there's any Country Bears.
I just had to make fun because that's one of our. That's one of our favorites here.
Yeah, I really wanted to do it. Just didn't get around to doing it when we were there. So.
You didn't do it in Disney World.
Didn't do it Disney World.
Right.
I kept on saying it was one of our days there. Wanted to do it and just never got the opportunity to. So
I wonder if I record. I may have recorded it on my last trip. I'll have to record it. I'm sure I have. So you'll have to listen to one of my live.
I think they have one in Tokyo Disneyland.
Done.
They could have had pandas.
Yeah, country pandas would be awesome.
Country pandas.
So the ride is like a ride in 3 acts. So you've got the first part is just like a normal mine train ride, and then you get up to a point where a cable snaps, and then it becomes a roller coaster in reverse, like you have with Expedition Everest.
Just like it makes me nauseous. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you think the ride's finished, and then it just takes off again, and it's even faster than it was before. So it's a really good ride. We rode it a few times. It was awesome.
That's one for Peter, I can tell.
Yeah, I love this because I think you're about to talk about the portion of the park that I probably would spend the most of my time in, and I know it ties into Grizzly Gulch, the Mystic Point.
Yes, it does. It does tie in Mystic Point. This area is awesome. It's got the Gardens of Wonder, which we never actually looked at too much because we were too busy running around trying to go on rides. But we will do it next time because we'll be back in Hong Kong in April. So you got the Gardens of Wonder, you got the Mystic Point Freight Depot, so that's where the train rocks up. You've got a great restaurant there called Explorers Club as well, which is really cool. And then you got Mystic Manor, and Mystic Manor is an amazing ride. It's in Chinese culture. There's something to do with ghosts and things like that, where having a haunted mansion doesn't fit in with their ideas, their philosophies and stuff, I guess. So they decided to have a haunted mansion type attraction, which didn't involve ghosts. And so you end up with Mystic Manor, where you have an explorer who's been traveling the world and collecting antiquities. And it's all housed in Mystic Manor, which is like a museum. Now, he's got a little monkey friend called Albert. And Albert is, a monkey, and he's mischievous, and he's very interested in this box that they've just received, which has got a jewel on top. And the story is, if you touch the jewel, it releases magic that will animate inanimate objects. And then once that happens, the shiznit hits the fan, and then you go through the manor, seeing how the magic affects the different areas. And it's an amazing ride. It's similar to the Ratatouille ride in Paris and the Pooh's Honey Hunt in Tokyo Disneyland, where it's trackless. So you're in these vehicles that are moving without being on rails, which gives you a really different ride experience to your normal people mover track-based system. And you go through, and the first room you go in, you get to see some really fantastic animatronics, but you also get some great use of lighting effects. I think it's the best lighting effects I've ever seen in any ride. And then you just go through and see how the story unfolds. So, yeah, this is a ride that you will want to ride over and over again. You'll want to try to get into different carts each time, sit at the front of the cart, sit at the back of the cart, and each time you do it in a different way, you get a kind of slightly different experience to what you did previously. The actual ride is fantastic. The story is great, and I'd be very surprised at some point if we don't see a Mystic Manor movie, because it's such a great experience.
Wow.
and really fun.
Great description.
Yeah, I'm even more excited, and I'm excited to hear because behind it, talk about the Disney's and the details. So it's the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, and back out here we used to have the Adventurers Club down in Pleasure Island, and they closed that, but then they brought this idea, and it's tied into Mystic Manor. Tokyo Disney Sea, their version of Tower of Terror is about this member of the Society of Explorers and Adventurers, and I think it's just fantastic. I love that mythology that Disney's created, and I'm so glad that they've continued it, and hopefully it'll make its way back over. So that was an awesome description. I'm even more excited to try and write it.
It's great. It's really good. We bought a little Albert doll and brought it home as well, and put him on our bookshelf, because just a great character, a really fun character. So I just look forward to them actually using that character more in the future. So it should be good.
So I think next in that, if you keep going around the direction we're going, you get into Toy Story Land.
Yeah, Toy Story Land is I think it's pretty much a replication of what they've got in Paris. So you've got the Barrel of Fun, which is a meet and greet, and we met Woody there, and it got some photographs with Woody. Actually, that's something I should mention. The both Shanghai and Hong Kong have PhotoPass, which Kat and I always use PhotoPass. We think it's a fantastic system and it's really good.
Right.
But both of them are in Shanghai and Hong Kong are a bit complicated to set up. So I'd recommend going to the PhotoPass shops and getting someone to help you there, because it's a bit more complicated than the way it was set up in America and in Paris. But for some reason in Hong Kong, when you go into the meet and greets, they never have a PhotoPass photographer there. They were just using your own camera. So that was really, really weird. And there was only really Space Mountain had a ride photo. So we got the PhotoPass as part of our package, but if we didn't get it, I don't think I'd bother buying it, because there's really minimal opportunities to use it in Hong Kong.
Oh.
There's more opportunities in Shanghai. Shanghai definitely get it, but Hong Kong you could probably do without it if you don't want to pay the extra money.
Oh, wow. That was good advice. All
anyway,
right.
So the rides in Toy Story Land is the RC races, and it's like a U-shaped track, and the ride goes up and then back again. And you'd think Kat, she can do thrill rides now. She's got no problem with thrill rides, but this is one ride where she just had issues, and we started the ride and we were going up a bit and then back a bit and then up a bit and then back a bit, and then when we reached about halfway point, she was started just going no, and she nupped the whole way through the ride, and she just going, never doing that again. I was like, I didn't understand it, but that was her point. That was that was her limit, was going back and forth, up and down, going higher and higher. That was where she was like, no, that's it. I'm not doing this ride anymore. So I guess we all have our limits. They've got the Slinky Dog spin, which is the Slinky Dog, and you sit in the cart and you just go around and around in a circle. So it's just a bit of a fun kiddie ride. And then the Toy Story parachute drop, which to me looked like it was way higher than it was in Paris, but it could just be because in Paris there's other things that are higher around it, might make it look smaller by perspective. But here it looked quite high, but it was a really cool little drop ride. So Toy Story Land's certainly worth a visit, I think. Tomorrowland, they've got the Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, and if you want to use the Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters in Hong Kong Disneyland, I'd recommend you go sooner rather than later, because they are going away. They're going to get overlaid with not overlaid. They're going to get reimagined into an Ant-Man attraction, because I think Tomorrowland in the very, very near future is just going to be called Marvel Land, because they're moving down the track of turning it into a Marvel area. So previously they had an Autopia there, and as you should do with all Autopias, you should rip it out and replace it with something interesting. And
they were fighting words.
and they did, because so they've only been open for, as I said, 11 years, but they ripped out Autopia and they've replaced it with the Iron Man experience. So the Iron Man experience is a similar simulator ride to Star Tours. So you go through an awesome queue which shows you all these props and stuff from the Marvel movies, and then you get an explanation from Tony Stark that they've opened up a new Stark Tower in Kowloon, and they've brought the Stark Expo to Hong Kong. So the Iron Man is actually in Hong Kong, showing different Stark tech items, and they've brought this carriage or car, which is like an Iron Man suit that fits like 40 of your best friends. And you get into the car to go on a tour of Hong Kong, and you end up at Stark Towers. But when you end up at Stark Towers, Hydra attacks and is trying to take away the arc reactor from Stark Towers. So the Jarvis, who is speaking, I believe, Cantonese, calls up Tony Stark, who's doing a meet and greet with people in Hong Kong Disneyland, and says, look, Hydra's attacking. And then Iron Man, who sounds exactly like Robert Downey Jr. for some reason, says, I'll be right there. And then Iron Man comes to help you out fighting off Hydra. it's a fantastic experience. It's a 3D experience. They've done the storyline is fantastic, and it's just a really funny, enjoyable ride. Kat and I were hoping it was going to be more Star Tours 2, where they were going to have various scenes that they could mix and match to make it a different ride experience next time. But unfortunately, it's just the one story that they've got. So, but I imagine because of the flexibility of a simulator ride, that down the track, once that one story gets a bit stale, they'll probably plus it up and go, Iron Man Experience 2 kind of way. So that's a really, really cool ride. There's an awesome meet and greet afterwards that you can go to where you actually meet Iron Man, and it's just the most immersive meet and greet you've ever been to. You're standing in a staging area beforehand, and then they open up the doors and you go through, and there's a lady from Stark Industries giving you a talk on the different products that they've got, and then all of a sudden to your right there's a glass door that starts to just steam up, and you can actually hear Iron Man landing, and the door opens and Iron Man walks out and starts talking to you, and it's literally Robert Downey Jr. talking to you. It was absolutely amazing, and then you get your photographs taken with him and that sort of thing. But I swear to God, one day Robert Downey Jr. is going to rock up there, and he's going to come out as Iron Man, and he's going to lift up that face mask and go, oh my God, that's Tony Stark. That is awesome. It's got to happen. It's got to happen. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think the real characters show up in these parks on occasion.
Oh, definitely. I met Captain America in Shanghai. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, nice.
I'm the biggest Captain America fan, so to get to meet him was just brilliant.
All right.
Tomorrowland, you've got the Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, you've got the Orbitron. Orbitrons, they're all right, but only ever do an Orbitron if there's like a 10-minute wait, and you can get straight on and do that. We met Chewie, and weirdly enough, he'd seen him gain hair and lost some height since we last met him in Orlando. So I don't know what that was about.
Well, everything's a little bit small, you told me, in the culture, so...
Hyperspace Mountain. This is the Space Mountain with the Star Wars overlay. This is awesome. I cannot see any reason why they would ever change it back to normal Space Mountain after putting this overlay on it. You when you're walking through the line, you get a briefing by Admiral Akbar telling you what your mission is, and it's basically a mission to go and check some stuff out. And you get into your ride vehicle, and with Hong Kong Disneyland, the ride vehicle for Space Mountain or Hyperspace Mountain, you're sitting side by side. You're not the toboggan type layout you are in Orlando, which I think is a much better way of doing it. It's the side by side ones, and so you go through into the ride, and the first bit of the ride's completely black, and then the Star Wars music hits. And you start getting the vapors at that point in time when you hear the Star Wars music, and then you start going up an incline, and as you're going up an incline, you get that hyperspace kind of feel with the streaky lights and all that sort of stuff. And when you come out of hyperspace, the first thing you see is a Star Destroyer, and then you know that. Stuff's got real. So then you're going through the ride, and the projections are of you're seeing the Star Destroyer, and then you're getting attacked by TIE fighters. You can see actual lasers going past your head, and all the time the Star Wars music is playing in the background. And you at the end of the day, you're going to win. So you're seeing things blowing up and stuff, and it's absolutely awesome. It's just a fantastic ride. And as I said, I can't see why you would turn back to normal Space Mountain after you've experienced Hyperspace Mountain. Absolutely brilliant ride.
It makes sense.
And I look forward to getting to Paris, because Paris is actually doing the Hyperspace Mountain overlay at the moment. And I wonder how it's going to work there, because Space Mountain there is more like Rock and Roller Coaster. It's a lot faster, a lot more extreme experience than you get at other Disney parks.
It's interesting because Disneyland California, they've overlaid theirs with the Hyperspace Mountain, and they do during the Halloween season, they do like a Halloween theme, and Hong Kong obviously is the Hyperspace. Disneyland, it's just ours seems to be stuck in 1974, and I don't think it's going to change, because I think if they tried to change it, people would riot, and I don't think they could change us away from the toboggan style either, because I know the side-by-side cars, they would probably have to do a lot of replacement on the track, and they'd probably have to rip the whole thing down to get it like that.
I think they're going to put all their money into Star Wars Land anyway.
That's fine.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow, Lewis. So how do you compare these two parks? Do you have a favorite from the two? Is that hard?
Really, that's the thing, is like they're out of all the parks we've been to so far, there is none I would say, oh well, we've done that park, we never have to go back. Like, all the parks have their own appeal.
Yep.
And all the parks, like, I just want to go back to and experience them all over again. Shanghai Disneyland is big. It's quite immersive. There's lots to do there. It's a lot more fast-paced. Hong Kong Disneyland is a smaller park. The lines were shorter. It was a more relaxing Disneyland experience. And to the point that when we were checking in, we had two tickets as part of our package, 2-day tickets as part of our package. And we said, well, we're here for the third day as well, for Friday. Could we buy an extra ticket? And Melody, who was checking us in, said, look, are you sure you want to do 3 days? And we're like, have you not met us before? We want to be in the park every day that we're here. And so she said, look, if you want to go into the park first, check it out. If you think you're going to require a third day, look at getting an annual pass, because if you buy a full day ticket pass for the third day, you're pretty much spending the same amount of money as an annual pass.
Oh wow!
So Kat and I went into the park and we went, yeah, we want to come in on Friday. There's no doubt about that. And so we looked at the annual pass options, and we could get a silver annual pass, which had all the weekends and stuff were blocked out. There were a lot of other days blocked out during the year. We went, well, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, if we want to come back later in the year, we want to have flexibility. So we went for the gold annual pass, and we sort of said, well, this way we're going to get discounts on food and get discounts on merchandise, and then get discounts on hotel rooms when we want to come back later in the year. And initially for April, we were thinking about going to Tokyo and doing Tokyo City, Tokyo Disney, and then going to Universal Japan. And then after going to Hong Kong Disney, we thought, well, instead of going to Universal, let's go Tokyo Disney, and then come back to Hong Kong and do more of Hong Kong and more of Hong Kong Disneyland. And so we decided to do that. So we're going to be going back to Hong Kong Disneyland in April to experience Easter in Hong Kong Disneyland. So
great.
I can see. Pardon, sorry?
That's great. That's nice little surprise to put that together with the annual pass.
Yeah, well, we thought, like, because Hong Kong Disneyland's our nearest Disneyland, so it kind of makes sense for us to be annual pass holders there, and it's a nice way to break up a holiday, because being it's the closest one, we can go to Paris and then come back to Hong Kong, or Japan and back to Hong Kong, or Shanghai and back to Hong Kong. And then it's only an 8-hour flight home, so it really breaks up nicely.
I like how you say only 8-hour flight home.
Only 8-hour flight home.
I can get to California in 5 or 6 hours.
When you live in the most isolated city in the world, 8 hours is not that much. So it's it just made sense to do it, and it's a relaxing place. Like, 'cause as well as the park itself, the hotel has like a pool, and then it's got it's got separate male and female, like steam room, sauna, and spas, which I don't particularly like. I prefer if, like, you've got steam room, sauna, and spas, that they're accessible by males and females, because then couples can go and enjoy them together. But for some reason they've got segregated steam rooms and stuff like that. So it takes, when Kat and I go together, it takes a bit more negotiating as to, okay, we'll go into that area for half an hour, meet back here in half an hour, and Yeah, it's just easier if it's all combined. But it's just a relaxing place, and if you go club level, it takes away the thoughts about having to get dinner and stuff like that, because you can just go up there and have some snacks, and takes away those kind of things. But that being said, in the Hong Kong parks, they've got quick service dining that is comparable to the food quality is comparable to any of the sit down meals that you would get in the American parks. And I don't know how they do it, but it's just they do. I put those photographs up on Facebook, and just amazing food, reasonably priced. Yeah, and it's quick. It is literally quick. You go, you get in the line, and then within 5 minutes you've got your food and you're sitting down eating it. It's just fantastic.
Holly, I love having Lewis on. I don't even have to ask any questions. You just turn him on and he just goes. He just answered my next question. I was going to ask him about food.
I love it hearing all of this, because like I said, you can read about it and watch videos, but to kind of get that first hand report and it's fantastic. It just encourages me and hopefully other people to try and start planning to go out there, because
expand your horizons, right?
Yeah.
So Lewis, before we leave, are there any sit down restaurants there that you did that kind of an evening out?
We didn't actually do any sit down restaurants, because when we went, it was like off peak, so there were a lot of restaurants that were shut. So we just had to find what we could find. Actually, and going off peak's not such a bad thing as well, because they do offer a lot of deals. And we got a deal with our accommodation, everything like that. So we got our two nights accommodation. We got the extra fast passes. We obviously went club lounge and that sort of thing. But they gave us meal vouchers as well, and the meal vouchers we used in the quick service restaurant.
Oh,
so
nice.
Yes, we spent very little on food.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good way to go. Any particular meals or snacks that kind of stood out?
Okay, I had a lightsaber churro, which was pretty much a churro in a lightsaber casing. So that was pretty cool. I think they're taking it. It was only churro flavored and churro color. So that was disappointing. It was still good because it was a churro. But in Japan, I believe they've just released lightsaber churros where it's green. And I love the Japanese. They do some weird things because it's green and it's melon flavored. I was like, I'm in. I'm going to be doing that. Also, they didn't have Dole Whips, but they had there was a box at one of the places which had the Dole logo on it. I was going, you bastards, teasing us with your Dole Whips, not having them here. But they did have a pineapple slush that you could get in Toy Story Land. That was like a frozen pineapple drink with chunks of pineapple in it.
Ooh.
And you could get that with or without like a soft serve ice cream on top.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Sorry?
That sounds good.
Yeah, no, it was quite nice. That was quite good. Trying to think of any other snacks. They had the popcorn as well. They had the caramel popcorn there. We didn't try it in Hong Kong because it wasn't like in Shanghai. There was like a cart, and they'd have the boxes, and then they'd fill the boxes up with the popcorn, and you get it like that. Whereas in Hong Kong, it was just in plastic bags. So I think the popcorn bucket thing works better for me. I like the tactile thing of having a popcorn bucket. But anyway, when we went to they must have different popcorns there as well, because when we went to the airport, they had a Disney store at the Hong Kong airport, and there you could buy popcorn of different flavors. So they had caramel, and they had tiramisu and stuff like that. So yeah, there were some weird things there. Yes, that was. But yeah, all the food we had was great. It was all top quality, really nice food though.
Awesome. Did you do a lot of planning for this trip, Lewis? I know you're pretty active on social media or websites and stuff, and blogs, and definitely podcasts. Did you do a lot of research?
Yeah, did heaps of research, as we always do to figure out the best way to approach the parks to maximise experience and minimise wait times. And so if you're going to the Asian parks, one of the best places to go that I mentioned previously is listening to the TDR Now podcast, because it's a podcast that focused predominantly on Tokyo Disneyland, but Chris has also been to Shanghai and is an annual pass holder at Hong Kong Disneyland, so he goes to those parks a lot as well.
Okay.
And they've got a website with touring plans for all three parks, as well as Universal Japan. It's really good, and you can contact them for like information and advice and that sort of thing as well. So if you are planning to go to the Asian parks, I'd recommend listening to that podcast and checking out their website. Also both parks have really good websites in English, very, very easy to navigate. So I'd recommend spending time there. The other thing I would recommend doing, both parks have apps for your phone that you can download, and you can look at the wait times on the apps. So in the lead up to your trip, I'd recommend downloading the apps and looking on a regular basis at the wait times and seeing how they fluctuate during the day. So doing that, you can schedule out your day so that you can hit the rides you want to hit when the wait times are at their lowest.
Nice. Well, all right. This has been awesome. I just want to give you a last time to fill in any holes we might have left. Is any interesting stories, best part of the trip, favorites, or unexpected moments, anything like that you want to add at the end here?
Well, when we were leaving Hong Kong, because we went there the last day and we were leaving like midday to go to the airport, we still had our fast passes that we hadn't used. And I noticed that things get a bit busier on the Friday and on the weekends for Disneyland Hong Kong. And I thought, well, I've got these fast passes here, and we're not going to use them. So we looked around for a family that had just arrived there that day and was there for only the one day. And we gave them the fast passes so that they could get some use out of it. So I think it's just one of those things, like being a Disney fan, it's always good to pay it forward. And so if you do end up with fast passes you aren't going to use, if you can pass them on to someone, it's always a good thing. I think people appreciate that kind of, a little bit of extra magic from someone who's just a complete random.
Sometimes it feels a little awkward when strangers are walking up to them, but then they go, "Oh, look it." It's good to be friendly to strangers.
Put that Disney karma out there, man.
Yeah, that's right. Awesome.
There was one other thing as well. I put it up on the Facebook page, and I mentioned about meeting the Hellers while we were in Hong Kong Disneyland.
Yeah,
and they were really amazing people. They live in Orlando, and they said they're about 25 minutes away from the parks, but they spend their time now traveling to Hong Kong Disneyland and Tokyo Disneyland, and they said they spent about a month in each park every year, and they've apparently been to Disneyland Tokyo 28 times.
Wow!
So the reason I went up and talked to them was they were wearing matching T-shirts that said Disney cast members bring the magic, and I was like, these guys seem familiar. Like, I think I must have seen their photograph somewhere else. So I went and spoke to them, and they were great, really, really good, and they had some great advice in regards to the Asian parks. So I put on the Facebook page, I'll put a link to their website as well. So if anyone is planning on going to the Asian parks and you maybe want some advice, then I'd definitely check out with the Hellers and get some advice from them.
Yeah, I thank you for that tip, because they're like authors. They were doctors, I think, and they wrote a lot of books, right? And world travelers, and they'd probably be a great guest to have on the show.
Yeah, I think that their take on Disney, I think, will be very, very different to anyone else. It's certainly they've seen it all and done it all.
Yeah, they sound very interesting. So they were easy to approach then too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, great people.
Awesome. Well, you're great people, Lewis and Holly. Thanks so much for coming on and helping me host.
Of course, this was awesome, Lewis. Your trip sounds amazing, looked amazing, and I'm really looking forward to hearing your take on Tokyo.
Yeah.
Disneyland too.
So your next trip is what in what order are you doing? Hong Kong first, or no? I'm sorry, you're doing Tokyo first and Hong Kong in April?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so we're flying out on the Thursday before Good Friday, and going to Tokyo first, doing Tokyo proper first, and then going to Tokyo Disneyland.
Nice.
I think I don't know if it's 3 nights or 4 nights that we're there, and then we fly to Hong Kong, and we're 4 nights in Hong Kong, 2 nights in Hong Kong Disneyland.
All right, Lewis, you're so easy to have on the show. Like I said, you just get him started, and he just goes. Holly, it's been awesome. Thanks, Lewis. Talk to you soon.
It's good. Pleasure to be here.
When are you coming back to the States?
It's gonna be a little while.
All right.
We're undecided yet on the next trip because we want Pandora to be opened
right
at Walt Disney World.
Yep.
And I also want the Mission Breakout, the new Guardians of the Galaxy one at Anaheim to be open. So it might be next year. We might make our way back there, but it just depends on timing and all those kind of things.
Sure. Well, if I don't see you there, make sure you give me some warning if you're in New York again.
Yeah, definitely. We love New York. It's an awesome place. We will be definitely back in New York. Believe me.
We'll have a beer.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Thanks for being on, and enjoy your day. We're getting ready to go to bed.
No, it's good. Well, good night, Kurt. Holly, have a
Take care.
Have a good Saturday.
Will do.
All right, it's so much fun to have geeks all the way around the world in Australia with Lewis Sutton. Thank you, Lewis. I can't wait till you go to Tokyo Disneyland and back to Hong Kong, and that will be around Easter time, so we will get back with you and hear all about that trip. Hey, for now, we just had Tony McDaniel, who was down in Disney World, and he got a chance to see a preview of the Rivers of Light show. So let's hear Tony on Geek Speak.
Hello, geeks. This is Tony McDaniel, fresh off a trip to Walt Disney World last week. Was just sitting here thinking about it and had the honor of attending the Walt Disney World Agent Education Program while I was down there. And on Friday night, while we were there, they released some fast passes for the public debut of Rivers of Light and the Animal Kingdom. So instantly I had to change my Hollywood Studios fast passes to Animal Kingdom because I wasn't going to miss that. It was better than expected. To be honest with you, the music was really wonderful and the effects were top notch compared to what I had seen with the Jungle Book show last summer. Just comparing those two, it's definitely worth using the fast pass on, or they also have it available with the dining package for Tusker House and Tiffin's. So, I was really impressed, and I hope you will be too. Thanks.
Thanks for calling in, Tony, to Geek Speak. That is so awesome to hear that the Rivers of Light, we're getting good reports of it being a good show, and I'm glad to hear the music is great. I know Disney had such a hard time getting that all together. They've had a couple of restarts, so it's really exciting to hear that we'll all be able to see that real soon. Thank you so much, Tony, for calling that in. Looking forward to Avatar coming out here pretty soon. Memorial Day weekend, I believe, is when it starts, something like that. And so it's so cool this year. We got some new stuff to be excited about at Disney World. But the thing I am most excited about are you guys, my geeks. I absolutely love our highly engaged Facebook group. And it's so much fun to watch you guys every single day having fun, teaching everybody about Disney World, answering questions, and letting us know what's going on at the parks as they're happening. Thank you for continuing to support our show. I love all those retweets you're doing on Twitter, sharing our Facebook posts. That is the best way to let your friends know all about our show. I would love to see a 5-star iTunes review, something that's really fun and fantastic. Come on, guys, go on out there and show us your love for the show. I would really appreciate that. Really encourages me. Hey, if you got a question for me, why don't you email me at kurt.stone@geekinonwdw.com, or you can direct message me on Twitter at geekinonwdw. And just like Tony just did, if you want to give us a trip report or ask a question, give us some feedback for the show, that is Geek Speak. We have a voice recording there. You can call the phone number at 860-294-4774. And remember, if you're planning a Walt Disney World vacation, why not talk to our good friends and super geeks Susan, Jennifer, or EJ at Fairy Tale Concierge. They're going to help you plan the best possible vacation at Disney World for you guys. Hey, thanks for going geeking on Walt Disney World with us. We really appreciate you listening and geeking with us every single day. Have a magical day, and I hope all your dreams come true. All right. Well, I think that will make one full show for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome, Lewis. Very good job.
I thought you'd be pushing.
You gotta do me a favor
as well.
Yeah, we're gonna have. So Holly, we're gonna do Tony tomorrow.
Yep.
Tomorrow morning, I think. What time did we say? 8 in the morning tomorrow.
8?
Yeah, I think so. Look at your email.
Lewis, I will. When you are at Tokyo Disney, if you see fit, take as many pictures of Mysterious Island for me as you can. That's my obsession. I love Jules Verne and 20,000 Leagues and all that, and that whole area is just like, I want to live there.
I'm looking forward to Tokyo Disney. It's it's one of the reasons we left it to last was just the fact that it's two parks. Disney Sea is apparently just something else completely different. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be good.
Oh,
and we're staying.
You haven't been to Tokyo yet.
No, we haven't been to Tokyo.
Yeah, I was just looking at your list.
We booked our hotel there, and we're staying. The hotel is kind of castle-like, and we're staying in a turret room. And so it's actually the end bit where you got the round turrety bit of a castle. That's the area we're staying, and it's like, oh my god, we're staying in a turret. That's fantastic. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're really looking forward to it. And I think being it's a turret room, it's all facing the parks, so we'll have a good view of the Disneyland park, and it's very, very exciting.
Well, we appreciate you posting all your pictures to our Facebook group, and definitely do that again in Tokyo, and then I'd love to have you back on, Lewis.
Yep, no worries, Kurt. Sounds good, mate.
All right, buddy. Have a good day, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Will do. Good night, guys.
Night.
Bye.
Bye.